Hey everybody, this is Rustin Rose with Metalholic Magazine and The Examiner. With us today, the legend himself, Evan Seinfeld. How are you doing, man?
Great, man. We're looking at you and looking
Whatever works. The camera's probably prettier than I am.
People, but you know, you can do that thing when you talk right to the camera.
There you go. No, this is fine. So, Attika 7, tell us the backstory and everything, because it's a great story.
Yeah, it's really interesting. You know, obviously, you know, I've been playing in Biohazard since I was a little kid. I started the band when I was 17, and Rusty was my best friend. And when Rusty got out of prison, he had a bunch of songs he'd written that were really passionate and heartfelt. Kind of had the spark I was looking for. I was looking to reinvent myself and do something a little bit more melodic, but still really heavy, kind of in that, you know, Black Sabbath, Metallica, you know, Godsmack, kind of bands on tour with right now. Vein, but kind of with our with our ideology, philosophy, lifestyle. You know, kind of like all for one, one for all, brotherhood. You know, badass outlaw biker, heavy metal band. And it became a thing, man, real quick. Me and Rusty started jamming, and it was just natural. We started writing songs, and before we know it, you know, we got a record contract. Got in the studio with Mud Rock. Did a record. Put it out, put together this incredible band with great musicians, and it's like a dream come true, man. Here we are on the Uproar tour. Who would have thought it, you know?
Right, and the response, I know you guys are going on early, but the response from the people that are here is phenomenal.
The response is great, in particularly because nobody knows our music yet. I mean, our album's been out not even 2 months, and I mean, we're on a, you know, it's a brand new band, so we don't expect people to know music yet. I mean, see some people in the front row, you know, singing along with lyrics, but just a couple. And that's a big testament to the, like, how the band is live, because we're winning people over just on the live show, you know, and here the people come and going, God dang, I never heard of y'all, but man, I want to get that CD. And that's for us what it's about, you know, sharing our music and sharing our message.
Right. And the album is absolutely phenomenal. Matter of fact, I had to pick up my own physical copy today. The digital just isn't good enough anymore. I miss the days when you actually had the album in your hand and you could look at it and feel it. Yeah, I'm telling you. So, but I was just talking to the other guys in the band about the first festival that they ever went to, and I'm thinking, man, I was at like Day on the Green and Us Festival. These guys are like 10, 20 years later. It's like, so. Now, obviously, we know Rusty's doing the Sons of Anarchy thing on the side and everything, which is really cool. What else have you got going on the side, aside from Attika? Hey, oh, and here he is. Rusty himself.
Man. Well,
should I wait over here?
Nah, come on
over. Okay. Make it a 2-shot. Let's do it.
There we go. Now we can get the whole story at once and everything.
We were talking about what else we're doing besides stuff in the band. I mean, you know, nowadays, you know, playing music, I mean, that's our first love. Both of us is kind of music what brought us together, you know, music and friendship. But, you know, like you said, Rusty's, you know, he's on the new season of Sons of Anarchy. I used to do Oz and HBO. Nowadays, it seems like it's not enough just to play music. You know, we want to be always creating, whether Rusty's building a motorcycle, or I'm managing my wife's music group. You know, we're always trying to do other things, just whatever ideas we have, we're passionate about, you know. I mean, expressing yourself as an actor is like expressing yourself as a musician. It's a little different, but, you know, for us, the music is the pure form. It's something we created from scratch, you know.
Now, the music that's on the debut album and everything, I know you created a lot of the stuff when you were still in prison, but you guys got together, obviously, and sort of put it all together. How did that process work for you two?
It was really smooth. We have a real similar style, you know, of writing.
Yeah.
And it was actually real easy. It wasn't even intended to happen the way it happened. It became a deal that was supposed to be a temporary kind of he was going to fill in because I fired the singer, and then he got the songs and stuff. He loved it. And then instantly we're getting together, we're like reworking things and massaging it, writing new stuff, and our style on the guitar and everything just flowed, you know, just came together real easy.
Nice.
I mean, it's been a year, you know what I mean, to do what we're doing.
Yeah.
I've been asking everybody so far that I've talked to, you know, because obviously you're loving all the bands that are on this tour because it's a great tour, but I've been asking everybody, is there one band that's been kicking your ass every night? And everybody keeps saying POD, and I can see you sitting here.
I've been friends with these guys since they started. You know, I knew them when they were brand new. I've toured with them before in the past. I'm gonna try to.
We were using that one, but I don't think it's ours. Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
You know, I like Godsmack a lot. We actually, me and my wife watched Shinedown the other night, and I only know that Leonard Skinner covered it on the music, but man, that was some production. Those guys put on a real show. Musically, out of all these bands, I like POD and Godsmack probably the best out of these bands here. Pretty good other bands, you know, Red Light King, Candlelight Red, really good bands too. It's fun, man. It's just like a resurgence of hard rock and heavy metal seems to be a really good thing for us, you know.
Now, for those who don't know about Attica 7 yet, and especially about your story, Rusty, can you give us, you know, maybe the Reader's Digest condensed version for those who don't know your story yet, because it's a wonderful story.
Yeah, there's a lot to it, but to just put it in a nutshell, in 1999, I went to federal prison for a conspiracy case on distribution of ephedrine, which basically I put this guy together with this guy. I didn't even get near it, but I got paid to do it, and that was a case. So Greed put me in jail, man, and that was that. You know, so I went away, and they really threw the book at me. They were trying to give me life because they were charging me for a lot of stuff I wasn't involved in because of who I was. And I sat in there under the gun for almost 2 years fighting the case while they interviewed 200 witnesses trying to find anybody that could put me near the drugs. And there wasn't any involvement there, so they couldn't. In the end, the prosecutor interviewed the biggest snitch that they had that was next to me, thinking that guy was going to seal the deal, and that guy said, "You got the wrong guy." And I wouldn't cooperate and tell him I was the wrong guy. You know what I mean? I could have ended that thing right off when I got arrested, you know, but I wouldn't do it. Wouldn't cooperate at all. So he didn't tell my attorney what happened, but he called my attorney up and he was in a panic. He says, "Do you think Rusty'd take 8 years and call it a day?" And me and my attorney had already talked about this. We said, if they ever offer me 7 or 8, yeah, we'll call it a day, because that way I know I'm going to see daylight with honor. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he said, well, let me talk to my client. He came to talk to me, and he said, yeah, you know, as long as we do it right. You know, so we did. Everything was above board. There weren't any, you know, no cooperation of any sort. And my attorney told him, you know, if you try to get him in front of the grand jury after he signs this deal, that he's just going to say, fuck you. And he said, no, and the attorney says, yeah, I know he's going to say, fuck you. You know what I mean? So that was that. So I did the deal, and I'd already been down almost 2 years. So that left me with another 4.5 or something with good time.
Right.
You know? So while I was in there, the first few years, I read a lot of books. There was nothing else to do that I was interested in, so I just read a lot of books. And then I rediscovered playing the guitar totally by accident. I had played since I was 9. I took lessons from the time I was 9 till the time I was 14 or 15. I could read and write music, classical, finger picking, everything. And then I dropped it when I was about 15, played every once in a while. But I still had the structure of music in my head. And after that period of about 2.5 years, I was in a federal prison up in Oregon, and I was walking by the music room every day when I'd go to the workout yard, and I'd hear these guys playing, and I can't even explain what happened. I got inspired out of the blue. I mean, it was a real inspiration. It was like all of a sudden, like flipping a switch. I really wanted to play music, and I went in there and I signed up in the band program, started writing songs and playing with a band up there. And then they had a riot within a short amount of time, and they sent me to Texas. You know, then they put me back in the hole again for a long time. And when I got out of the hole there, I was playing a concert 3 days later, playing all my songs with a group of guys.
Wow.
In 3 days. But the reason is because that was like a blues bass rock that I was playing then, and blues is real universal, you know. And while I was there, I started doing drop tuning and dropping down into D. So I'd switch back and forth between E440 and D all the time. And I was playing cover songs and my own songs because I had more of the cover songs than I had my own. Then after a while, I wrote so many of my own that I didn't have time to play the covers, you know, and I just switched over and started playing all my own stuff. And it just got heavier and heavier. Now we're into C tuning, and
which is where Attika lives now.
Yeah, yeah. And I wrote like 32 songs while I was in Texas. And when I got really into it, I just said, when I get out, I'm going to get the best musicians I can. I'm not going to be a bar band. I'm not going to be a cover band. And that's the way it's going to be. And I slowly went through finding people when I got out, better and better musicians, and more. And then finally me and Evan hooked up, and it was a perfect fit, perfect timing. I mean, it was
couldn't have been better timing.
It was like it came from above, you know what I mean? A power from above put us together. Couldn't be better, you know?
It was weird because I hadn't even told him, like, even though we were such tight friends, we hung out all the time, I didn't tell him that I had decided I wanted to. He knew I wanted to do other things music, but I didn't tell him, like, I just quit the old band and didn't know what I was going to do. The only person who knew was my wife, you know? And I said, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do exactly. I just wanted to do something heavy but more melodic. And the phone rings and it's Rusty, and he's like, hey man, I just fired that singer. Would you fill in for a song, for a show or two? And I was like, well, send me over the music, man. I want to learn it, you know. And I got his lyrics and stuff he written in prison, and it moved me, man. It moved me. It was the inspiration I was looking for. So fucking planets align, and you know, hey, there's bigger bands than us. There's probably better bands than us, but there's only one Attika 7. We're authentic, genuine. You know, we live everything we sing about. You know.
Awesome, guys. I appreciate you taking the time before we leave. Sons of Anarchy. You're an obvious fit for it. As a matter of fact, Attika 7's music seems like it could be a soundtrack for the show.
We've had it on there. We've had 3 songs on there already.
Nice. So how did you end up getting hooked up with that?
That's another one, man. Just pure luck or whatever. But Kurt Sutter, that created the show, became friends with me 4 or 5 years ago when he first started the show. Came down to my shop a few times, and then he actually was following everything that I was doing with the music and all the other stuff, and he kind of was also doing his homework to make sure he was as authentic as possible, and who's more authentic than us, you know what I mean? So he really does have a lot of input from our people, which is great, you know, and it just evolved from building bikes with him and for him to this role. He just called me. I mean, it was a pure surprise. And it was like, he said, I need Rusty to come down to our casting office, and I want him to read for a role. And it was unexpected. I mean, it was like a gift. And I went down there and I read for it, and I had some other people I was up against, and I got it. And they put me right in the first episode. It's kicking ass, man. I'm telling you, it's great.
I'm only on season 3 right now, so
hurry up.
I've got to catch up and everything. Rusty, Evan, thanks so much for taking time to talk to Metalholic.